how do I tell my guilt-inducing in-laws that we're married now and we want to make our own traditions?
Well, this is awkward. You're the son-in-law. I'm the father-in-law, so I should be careful here.
We did
Uh,
our first Thanksgiving.
Please tell me you didn't send this question in.
I did. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. Our first Thanksgiving, we
You went out of state.
North Carolina. Yeah, so that was probably different for you guys.
Well, yeah, and it was like you guys were like, "Hey, we don't have kids yet. We want to travel for Thanksgiving. Goodbye." I was like, "Okay." And I had to talk Grace through it. She's like, "They're not going to be there." I was like, "But they love each other. They're married. They want to go make memories together.
Mhm.
That's a win."
It honestly was some of our favorite memories were
Yeah.
days like that, and we got that out of our system. We had these fun memories, and now we have a little boy, and we knew that when we had kids, we would want to be with family.
Yeah.
And we'd want to be, let's go make memories with family. Let's go make memories in our early years together.
Yeah.
So we have those for the rest of our marriage.
Well, I think that's an important thing. I think what you talk about there is like, it kind of ebbs and flows. The holidays do. Like when you're newly married and you don't have kids, that's different than when you're pregnant or
Mhm.
you do have kids. Now travel's more complicated. Once you have a lot of kids, you're like, can we go somewhere and get some help?
Mhm.
And so sometimes parents are fighting and arguing, and like this year we demand XYZ. It's like, play the long game.
Mhm.
Maybe this year they want to go somewhere and do something. Maybe down the road, if you're kind about it and gracious about it, maybe they come back and say, okay, we're ready to hang out. But what I would say is like, if it's a problem with her side of the family, she needs to talk to them. If it's a problem with his side of the family, he needs to talk to them. Once you cross over, it's just gonna
Mhm.
make it more complicated. There's going to be a big nuclear mushroom cloud over the whole family. And part of it too, Jesus talks about, the spirit versus the letter. And the question I would have is, what is the kind of the heart or the spirit of the family? Do they really, really, really love you? And so they just want you there because they love you so much. Then you got to be gracious and like, I understand. Or is it they're controlling and it's a broken family system? Like Grace and I, like if we had a bad broken marriage and we didn't really enjoy being together,
Mhm.
and so if you guys weren't there for a holiday and we were together and that was miserable for us, so we're like, please come over, please bring the kids, please bring the grandkids, because we have a broken busted marriage and we don't like being together,
Mhm.
then that's a problem.
Mhm.
Like this year we did for Thanksgiving, we asked everybody, what do you guys want to do? And they're like, well, we have the week off because a lot of us work, in ministry. We had a certain number of days off. So we did Thanksgiving not on Thursday, we did it on Tuesday. That's what everybody agreed to. And it's like, well, if you want to travel or if you want to go see extended family on the other side, or if you want to do something or get a day off, you have time to do that. So we did that. So for Thanksgiving Day, Grace and I were alone.
Mhm.
We slept in. I built a big fire. We went up to the mountains. We went for a walk. She wanted to go see the Bonhoeffer movie. So that's what we did for Thanksgiving, but it was a date for us.
Yeah.
It's like, well, great. Okay, cool. Like I love my wife. We're good.
Mhm.
So the heart of it is important. And if it is mom and dad hate each other, so we need to be there for the holidays so that they have a memory, it's like, well, that's not your responsibility as a young couple.
Uh-huh.
That's mom and dad's issue. That's their problem.
Yeah.
They've got to fix their relationship and go get some help. If it is they just love us so much, it's like, well, then how do you lovingly set
Mhm.
a healthy reset of boundaries? And that may be even like, hey, we know you want to see the kids. Could you take the kids for X number of hours or an
Yeah.
overnight so that we could get some time together, get the house set up for Christmas? Are there some other ways that the extended family could serve your,
Mhm.
the younger immediate family for the holidays rather than being a burden lifter then?
Yeah. And it's such a blessing. We really appreciate you guys very much practice what you preach on that. And I think for Ashley and I, when we approach the holidays, I'm not going to have anxiety going into Thanksgiving week. I'm not going to have anxiety going into Christmas. We're going to do things we enjoy and that Indy enjoys. And
Yeah.
if it's not that, we're not going to do it because why would we ruin the holidays to please other people? It's my family is my priority,
Totally.
and I have to live that out. And going into Thanksgiving, I want to be thankful at the end of the week, not exhausted. I think we probably got invited to 6 or 7 Thanksgiving parties, dinners, things, and we went to half those, and there were ones we enjoyed, and there were ones with Indy. And the last thing I want is to get into the next work week and my wife be exhausted, me be
Yeah.
exhausted, and Indy like see that example from me and Ashley, because you're teaching your kids something every time you go through a holiday season and
Yeah.
your marriage isn't good.
Well, and in that too, I would say for the, for the older generations, the younger couple has a right to privacy. And you're like, well, why do you want to come over? What's wrong? It's like, there may be things that you don't know that you don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the couple is dealing with health issues. Maybe the couple's got a marital issue they're working through. Maybe it's a hard season at work for dad and we don't know. Maybe they're in a hard place in their marriage. Like there may be things going on that have nothing to do
Mm-hmm.
like with the older generation, and it's not our business
Mm-hmm.
because we're two families. It's like, well, if there is something that's going on, if you want us to know, let us know. If not, it's
Yeah.
privacy. Like it's not our news to tell. Like I learned this some years ago where I sat down with a couple. Just comes to mind. I was a young pastor. There was an older couple that was really hurt because the kids were like, "Hey, we're not going to come over for Thanksgiving this year, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to do our own tradition." And the parents got really hurt and really took it personally. And what did we do wrong? And what's going on? And what do we not know? And was pushing, 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 pushing. Finally met with the families because it really kind of got very, very ugly. And it was just that on the other side, her grandmother was dying and she was grieving that. And her grandma didn't know Jesus and they were processing that. And her grandma was scheduled to have the plug pulled on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And they're dealing with something very difficult and private as a family. And you don't need to necessarily know. If they want you to know, they'll let you know. But the family took it all very, very
Yeah.
personally, it had nothing to do with them. So it's like, don't make assumptions, don't have expectations,
Mm-hmm.
don't make demands for information.
Yeah.
Just like, I love you, we're here, how can we add value, help? If there's something we've done, let us know so we can apologize. If there's something we can do to be of assistance, let us know. If there's something that we could know so that we could pray or support, let us know. But you've got to really take a step back and say, like, that's your family,
Mm-hmm.
and we're here to support and bless. And we only know what you tell us, and we only serve how you want us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you did a study last year. Where you did the series on Leave and Cleave, and in there you reference I think it's the second or third leading cause of divorce for couples is in-law conflict.
Yeah.
And so for grandparents that don't think it's very important to deal with this and to be a blessing, they actually can impact their kids' marriage heavily.
Well, no, it especially puts the daughter in a hard position.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you're married to Ashley, our oldest
Mm-hmm.
daughter. Like, and she's supposed to leave her mother and father and cleave to her husband. That means to
Mm-hmm.
unite, and then the two become one. So you
Yeah.
guys are a family. But if we're sort of always pulling on her,
Mm-hmm.
that would create in her an incredible amount of anxiety.
Yeah.
Because over on our side of the fight, I've got her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And the connection between a daughter and a mother
Yeah.
is like it's a biological real thing.
Yep.
And it's like, so this is where the husband and the father's got to step in and say, your husband is your priority. We're here to love and support. And also, if mom is like, my baby, I need my
Mm-hmm.
baby back, then dad's got to be coaching mom. Like, no, she's a grown woman now. She's married. She's in a covenant. She's
Mm-hmm.
left her mother and father. She's with her husband. And then as a parent, your shift has got to be to what can we do to help them have the strongest marriage?
Yeah.
Because like Ashley's very, very, very happily married. Literally, I almost in tears every day. Thank God that the three married couples are all married to believers and happily married and have good marriages.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, do we get to go to their house every Tuesday for pot roast? That's
Mm-hmm.
not my end zone. My end zone is, are you guys happily married? And you guys are all happily married. And like, praise God,
Yeah.
because then kids are coming into a household where there's joy, lower anxiety, there's going to be marital security. And that just means legacy. Then
Yeah.
generations are going to be healthy and they're getting a good example of marriage.
Yeah.